Becoming the President of the United States might seem like an achievement requiring an extensive list of qualifications, but in reality, the U.S. Constitution sets forth only 3 official requirements. These criteria, established by the Founding Fathers, have shaped the history of presidential elections and eligibility in surprising ways. The first requirement is residency. A candidate must have resided in the United States for at least 14 years before assuming office. While this rule has rarely been tested, Herbert Hoover came closest. Having spent much of his career abroad as a mining engineer and humanitarian, he returned to the United States only 11 years before winning the presidency in 1928. Despite this discrepancy, he was deemed eligible, setting a precedent for future candidates. The second qualification is age. A presidential candidate must be at least 35 years old. In the 18th century, when the U.S. Constitution was written, life expectancy was considerably lower than today, making 35 a relatively mature age. However, no one in their 30s has ever won the presidency. The youngest major party candidate was William Jennings Bryan, who, at 36, ran against William McKinley in 1896, but lost. The youngest person to assume the presidency was Theodore Roosevelt, who took office at 42 after the assassination of President McKinley in 1901. John F. Kennedy remains the youngest elected president, winning the 1960 election at 43. The third and perhaps most debated requirement is that the president must be a natural-born citizen. This clause has historically raised questions regarding eligibility. The early presidents, beginning with George Washington, were all born as British subjects, as the United States had not yet declared independence at the time of their births. It was not until Martin Van Buren, the nation's 8th president, that the country had its first U.S.-born leader. In modern times, this requirement has sparked controversy for candidates born outside U.S. territory. Senator Ted Cruz, for instance, was born in Canada to an American mother, raising legal debates about his eligibility. Similarly, Senator John McCain, the 2008 Republican nominee, was born in the Panama Canal Zone, where his father was stationed as a naval officer. Despite being born abroad, both were considered natural-born due to their American parentage. With such limited criteria, the presidency remains accessible to many. If you meet the requirements, why not take a shot? After all, history has shown that the unexpected often becomes reality in American politics.